Allie.
And Jesse. And this is Design for Adventure.
We're a married couple figuring out family travel, Disney trips, running races, parenting,
and how to make adventures actually work in real life.
Yes, we travel with our kids.
And still manage to have a good time.
And if you love making memories and want an adventure that fits real life, you're in the right place.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for episode number 2 of the Design for Adventure podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a not-so-glamorous topic of blowouts. And we're not talking about your sporting event blowouts or blowout like you pop a tire on a car, but we're talking about poop.
Poopy diapers, everyone. You have kids, you know they poop. And guess who has to usually clean it up? The parents. We're going to talk about just those messy moments that are bound to happen on any type of road trip or any kind of trip you have.
And if your kids are anything like ours, they have a habit of having blowouts at national parks.
And not just one, but multiple times a day.
Maybe 5.
So we're going to get into some of the stories of the blowouts we've had to deal with, and then we'll talk about how we deal with them now. We've had 2 kids. The first one is out of diapers completely. The second one, we're in the middle of potty training right now, which I'm sure we'll do an episode on potty training while traveling later. But we've dealt with our fair share of poopy diapers. Jesse, what's the most memorable one you remember?
Most memorable one I remember would be it happened right before a race at a state park in Tennessee. Like literally right before a race, to the point where we were cleaning it up in the car and we almost missed the start of the race.
It was our oldest, and he was maybe 6 months old? Was he a little bit older?
A little bit older.
He was starting to stand. And I just remember he had pants on. It came out of the pants at his ankles.
Yeah.
And it was all over the strap somehow. I don't know how this poop came out, but it defied gravity, came through, down his pants, onto his car seat. I think it was on his hands.
Yeah, because he was playing with it.
Yeah, I think that's how we realized it.
Yeah.
We're like, what is this?
There's something about the dynamics of the kids sitting in the car seat that seems to make poop defy gravity.
Oh my gosh, all the time. That was bad. And that, like you said, it was the worst is because we were rushing because the race was about to start. We were trying to get him cleaned up so we can get him in the stroller so we could just start running.
Well, and the race was important because there was points attached to it as part of a race series, and I am no spring chicken anymore, so I needed time to warm up.
I forgot about that. You had less than 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. But that brings up another poop story that you weren't there for, because I think this one, it was the toughest, was when I would take the kids for a run in the double stroller, and our youngest always seemed to poop out at that time. So yeah, there's something about car seats and sitting in a stroller that seems to make poop come out.
Maybe they're just really relaxed.
Maybe, yeah.
One of my favorite stories is when we were on our way to Big Bend National Park. It was about an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
And in that 8 hours, we went through 5 outfits. It seemed like every time I turned around, that girl was pooping.
Yeah, 2 in the span of a half hour, because we stopped at a little coffee shop in some tiny town in West Texas. Don't remember what it was called.
I don't either, but I just remember walking in with her, poop all down her back, went up, went down. The lady who owned the shop was so nice. She's just put her on a chair, clean her up. So we did. And 10 minutes later,
she did it again.
She pooped again. I felt so bad. I think they ended up taking the trash out because both diapers were in there. It was bad. It was so bad.
Well, and then that was just the prelude to the rest of the trip. So we went on and had a good time at Big Bend National Park. And then we went north up to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico, where the little girl did it again in the parking lot at Carlsbad Caverns.
That one smelled bad, if I remember correctly. I remember being in the bathroom. We found a family bathroom because we had our oldest with us, and he was 3 at the time because she was only 8 weeks old.
Yeah.
She was young for this trip. And he's like gagging
He
in
was
the
gagging.
corner.
Yeah.
And because we couldn't just leave him outside the bathroom, and I needed help with that.
Yeah.
But that's also, he did the same thing to us, though, when we were at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. It's a lot easier then when it was 2 against 1, two
Yeah.
parents and 1 kid. But yeah, that was his big blowout experience other than at that race. But yeah, Mount Rushmore, in
That
the Mount
was,
Rushmore parking lot.
again, he was in pants, and it just came out the ankles. The
Yeah.
amount of force that had to happen, it
It's
amazed me.
mind-boggling.
But I think our absolute worst, and I don't know if you remember this one as bad as I do, was we were waiting for dinner. So we were outside the restaurant. We had just met my really good friend from high school, had come down to visit, and we met her at a restaurant. And we're talking with her. She's playing with our oldest. And all of a sudden I look down and I'm trying to get our youngest out of the car seat, and it turned out to be wet. And there was poop everywhere. Like she was covered in it. It was covered in the car seat.
Yeah, you act like I don't remember that. I was the one that had to take the car seat into the men's restroom and rip it apart and clean every little facet of it. So I remember that very well.
And then I was in the women's bathroom, and I had like three moms surrounding me, handing me wipes and paper towels, trying to help clean her off because was so bad. It was in her hair that time. I don't even know what happened, but it was in her hair. It was everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe we should make that a PSA for the guys too, because you said there were 3 ladies in the women's bathroom that were helping you out. There were at least 3 guys that walked right past me in the men's restroom and didn't say a word, didn't offer to help or anything. So, guys, if you see a fellow dad in distress cleaning up poop in the bathroom, offer to help.
Just get him some paper towels.
Yeah. You don't have to do too much, just offer to help.
I'm really thankful we had my friend there to watch our oldest and entertain him while we just spent. I was in there for at least 10 minutes. I knew you were in
Oh,
there
yeah.
too. And then we had to deal with the wet car seat. We were
Yeah.
trying to, on the drive home, I think I remember putting burp rags or burp cloths down just so she could sit on a semi-dry surface.
Well, luckily it was summertime in Texas, so it's not like
It did dry pretty
it
quickly.
dried quickly. Yeah.
And it wasn't too bad of a drive home. It was only like a half hour.
Yeah.
Those are probably our worst experiences when it came to blowouts. It was just between the smells or dealing with 2 kids versus 1. It was totally different on how we had to handle it when we only had 1 kid versus 2, because one of us had to be watching the other, and one of us was unlucky and having to deal with the poop blowout.
Yeah. So, what have we learned from those situations?
Well, first, you need to pack enough outfits. So for the one that she had 5 blowouts in one day, I remember turning to you at one point saying, I don't think we have enough clothes to get through this trip anymore, because we had already gone through all the spares I had. I think I'd already put her in pajamas at that point,
Yeah.
like the extra pajamas we had. I think in the last outfit she lasted in was in the pajamas she needed to sleep in that night. And luckily we made it that trip, but I think we didn't have a spare outfit left.
Well, weren't we staying at an Airbnb that had a washing machine?
Not that trip.
Was there one at the hotel in New Mexico? Because I thought we had access to a washing machine at some point.
No, we
Not on
didn't.
that one?
I washed some of the clothes in the sink.
Oh.
Or at least rinsed them out so they weren't like sitting in poop over like 5 days in Texas heat. And that goes on to the next thing we learned. Don't always assume that after you've had one blowout that you're good for the rest of the day.
Yeah, you know what happens when you assume.
Yeah.
And that'll come back to bite you.
Our youngest is the worst about it. She seemed to like to do it 3 or 4 times a day, or 5 or 6. But just do not feel like you're safe.
It's amazing when you think about it, just how much poop those little bodies can hold.
I have no idea where it came from.
Yeah, I don't know. Boggles my mind.
She wasn't even sick. She was normal.
Yeah.
She was eating normal.
Yeah.
Another thing, I just mentioned this, but in your diaper bag, I think we only had one bag, like a plastic bag. We did not have enough bags to contain all that. I remember opening it up and just putting more poop clothes into the same bag. It was so gross until we could get somewhere.
That bag was overflowing by the end of that trip. I remember that. That was gross.
Oh my God, it smelled so bad. So bad. and just really no way to clean it. And then just not being prepared for that many blowouts or that much poop, especially in the bathroom when it smelled bad. I think we made it with enough wipes, but we were close to not having enough wipes either that trip.
Yeah, and where we were out there in that Big Bend area, if you've never been, that is a very rural area, and it's not like you can just go to your local Walmart or Walgreens or wherever to get wipes.
No, we drove for what, 3 hours and didn't see a single soul?
Well, it was from like Big Bend up to Carlsbad. I mean, we drove for 3 hours and went through three towns, I think.
And I
It's
don't even know
crazy.
if those towns had
It
anything.
might not have.
They were a town on a map, but they didn't look like a town in real life.
Yeah. Well, so how to be prepared for these things? You definitely need extra outfits, and I am guilty. I always accuse Ellie of overpacking. Guilty as charged. However, it does come in handy for extra poop blowouts. You need to have extra outfits.
So you always should have one in your diaper bag. But if this is a long road trip, so that trip was what going to be like 5 or 6 days,
Yeah.
something like that. We not only had, I think I might have had two in the diaper bag, and then I also had obviously all her outfits, but I had them easily like on in the suitcase, but on top, so I could easily just zip and get in and out. And then we also learned that trip we kept her in her pajamas until she had her first blowout every day.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Because we just knew she was going to have a blowout in the morning.
Yeah.
It was just at that point, we're like, let's just save an outfit, keep her in her pajamas until that could happen. And they're babies. They play and sleep in pajamas. She was 8 weeks old.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, we started keeping her in her pajamas. And I think we started doing that too with other trips after that to help save the outfits until we got past that blowout phase.
Well, yeah, and it helped too because, like I said, something about sitting in those car seats just makes poop defy the laws of gravity. So, and usually we were driving in the mornings to get to our destination for the day. So it just worked out to keep her in her pajamas until she pooped. Hopefully, it remained in the confines of the diaper. But if not, we were just out a pair of pajamas and not a pair of clothes.
Another thing, making sure you have enough extra Ziploc bags and plastic bags. Both. The Ziploc are key for the poopy clothes because you want to be able to conceal that smell in your car, especially when we're in West Texas. The sun bakes it. Even in the winter when we went in February, it still gets warm. That car got warm. Making sure you have the Ziploc bags to put those clothes in and have more than just one. I used to keep a stash in there of some that like people would give us things like toys would come in or other clothes would come in. I would just start putting those that I wouldn't use again for food. I would just put them in the diaper bag. So we always had 3 or 4. And then having like a bag of plastic bags just for anything else, even if it's just temporary to put all the poopy wipes in so you can find a trash can. Really helpful.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to change a diaper in a non-conventional place. You change plenty of diapers in the trunk of the car,
The front seat,
the front seat. Yeah, many times in the front seat,
the side of the road.
side of the road, on the ground. Like,
We have a changing pad, just like a reusable one that slips in our diaper bag. But yeah, the changing pad is key because you can throw that on the ground, put them on there while you're trying to clean them up. Maybe the other parent's trying to clean up the car seat. We've thrown that on picnic benches.
well, and I'm the one that's chronically underprepared. So there's been times where I've been alone and I've had to change a kid and I forgot the changing pad. So yeah, you just throw them on, don't throw them on the ground, but lay them gently on the ground and just change the diaper there.
I have some questions now.
Yeah, right.
But no, don't be afraid to just change your kid. You know what? Anyone who drives past or sees, they know exactly what's happening. And trust me, they're probably reminiscing about something they had to do themselves. So another thing too is when you're in a hotel, we always would find trash cans outside to throw the diapers in so the smell wouldn't linger if it was really bad. I'd usually send Jesse on a hunt. And then one of the other things too that I've actually started doing, and not just for poopy diapers and blowouts and stuff, but also for stains and messes, is I start to bring a little tiny bottle of laundry detergent and stain remover now. So after that whole situation with our daughter and going through 5 outfits in a day and barely having enough clothes to get through the entire trip, now I could, if I had to, I could wash clothes in the sink or the bathtub of a hotel. And then if you are in an Airbnb, you have access to a washing machine. Obviously, being able to clean your clothes is very important with little ones because they make messes, not just blowouts, but other things. But that has saved us as well. So we mentioned in our one trip when we were out in Big Bend in New Mexico, we were in the middle of nowhere. There was nowhere to go to buy anything. I don't even remember seeing a Walmart on that trip until we got to Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Yeah.
There was really nothing around. But that's usually not the norm. Usually you are around someplace that has clothes, diapers, wipes. So if you really are in a pickle, don't be afraid to run into Walmart or Target and just buy a onesie to put your child in or some kind of clothing. It's okay. You can buy more wipes, you can buy more diapers. So if you're freaking out, you don't have enough clothes, just know in the end, if you're really in a pinch, you probably have access to get another outfit if you need it.
Well, it's something that we have learned to, I guess, appreciate too, is that these messes just become part of the adventure. Sure, it was stressful and frustrating at the time when it was happening, but now we're looking back and laughing at it.
Oh, yeah. These are stories that I just can't wait to tell both kids and just.
And their future spouses.
Oh, yes. And then their kids, our grandkids, and be like, you want to know what your dad did?
Yeah, definitely.
So it was stressful at the moment, but I think, honestly, it probably only took a few minutes afterwards, once it was cleaned up, that we were kind of already laughing about it.
Except at the race, I was kind of annoyed about that one because I didn't score as many points as I needed to for the series, but I've forgiven him since then.
I just remember having a bunch of cute pictures after that race of him standing up and smiling because he felt good now.
Yeah, oh yeah, he cleared everything out of his system, that's for sure. So I guess the gist of what we wanted to say with this podcast, the main thing is you're not failing if your kids have a blowout and then you're a dad like me that didn't adequately prepare or pack the right things and you're changing your kids in the diaper on the bare ground. Yeah, you're not failing. It's like I said, something you'll be able to look back at and laugh about.
Just know you can take our stories, for example, but other parents have been there. We've all been there. Kids, I don't know what it is, but their little bodies just are designed to have blowouts in the worst possible moment.
Like we talked about, these moments become funny stories later.
So in the end, just remember, if you have a mess, you have a big blowout. It doesn't mean this trip was a bad idea or you did something wrong. It just, it happens.
It happens.
It's a part of life, and it's just something, hey, you probably might have had to deal with that at home. At least you have a good view while you're cleaning out your car seat full of poop.
Yeah, maybe there's some nice scenery to look at. Because, yeah, remember, adventure with kids is rarely clean, and that's okay. Kids are supposed to get dirty. Not necessarily poopy. You do need to clean that up. But it's okay if the things get dirty.
Messier the kid, the more fun they probably had. Thanks so much for listening to Designed for Adventure.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're following the show and leave a quick review. It really helps more families find us.
You can also find us on Instagram at Designed for Adventure Pod and Facebook at Designed for Adventure.
Until next time, don't be afraid to get out there and have an adventure.